to try to redo this video. The 8th graders were whining about it being blurry. Just kidding, it was a bit blurry. So we're going to do a video. I'm going to do a video showing you how to make a calendar project. Let me show you the finished product. And a lot of you are going to try to do it from the finished product. When you're done, it should look like this. And you'll have two grids, basically, two calendars. One will be just April, because Sunday the 1st of April. And then you have another one that will end here on the 3rd of June. So it really depends on if you start Monday or Sunday, but that's what we're doing. So let's show you how. I'm here at my desktop. I'm going to create this in Google Sheets. So I'm going to open up Google Sheets. This comes up and I'm going to want to choose blank. I'm going to want to name it. Give it a title. So I'm going to click on the title. If I double click on it, it will give you the whole thing. And I'm going to call it Calendar Project. You can see me looking at my keys as I type. I know. I'm going to skip the first row for now. And I'm going to do start with the second row. And on the second row, I'm going to start with Sunday this time. That the completed project, easy for me to say. I started with Monday, but we can do Sunday. That's fine. Now notice I don't type all the days out. I want to show you this feature that's inside, already built into a spreadsheet program. So I need both Monday. I can't just click on one day and do both. I need both cells. So let me zoom in just a little bit here. Let's see if this will let me do that. 150%. You can see it a little bit better. So I'm going to click and hold and drag over top of those two. I might use two fingers. One finger to click and hold and the other finger to drag over. And then I'm going to grab this little, see how it turns to a plus sign there? I'm going to grab that over and go over underneath the G column. And that will be all 7 days of the week. But now you notice the days of the week are not centered, nor are they look dark here, but when I print them, they'll be small. So up here at the top, there's a font size, and I'm going to make that a little bit bigger, 14, let's say. Maybe down to 13, so the Wednesday doesn't get too big. And then I'm going to come over here, and I want it centered. So on this button up here, let me zoom in a little bit here. When I come over here, I'm looking for, oh, it's not working for me. I'm looking for this button right here. Horizontal alignment, and I want that center. That moves all the letters in the center. Now I also want the days of the week to be a different color. So I click on the fill, which is the paint can, and I'm going to make it a light gray. So the days of the week are a little different. Now I'm going to put the first row in, and I'm going to put April. That's the month I'm working on. And I'm going to put by large. You would put your name because you are not large. You are whoever you are. All right, but the problem is notice it's clear over here in the first cell. I want it in the middle, but I don't want to just type it in this cell. So I'm going to click and drag over top of that row 1 over to G. Again, I'm going to hold down with this and go over with that. And then I'm going to come up to this button, which is merge cells. And then I'm going to do the horizontal alignment, and then I'm going to center it. Merge the cells, then center. merge, then center. Merge, then horizontal alignment, center. And that will put it in the middle. Now the next thing is I need my 5 rows to be the right size. So I'm going to click and drag over the numbers, and I'm going to resize those rows. So now, with my mouse not over here somewhere, but right over top of the numbers, I'm going to separate my fingers and tap the trackpad. Separate the fingers, and when I do that, a menu comes up and it says resize rows 3 through 7. And I'm going to click on that, and I want that 125. That'll make them nice and big. Too big to see. And now I need to resize my column. So I click anywhere out here so that those rows aren't selected anymore. I'm going to drag over top of the A through G. So again, I click and hold on A and slide across the G. I have to do it quickly. I can't click and talk to somebody and do it because otherwise it grabs it differently. And I want to resize these. So with my mouse over top of the letters, it's peace sign, click on that, resize columns A through G, and I want this one to be, what did I say? Do I want 125 for this too, so they're square? I can't remember. That might be too big. Alright, so I want it size 150. So I'm going to come up here, resize those rows 150. It looks really big because I'm zoomed in. So if I put this back out to 100% and I zoom back out to normal view, this is what it will look like. Okay? Alright, so I'm going to zoom back in so you can, I'll leave it here for right now. Alright, so now I need to work on this. Let me move this picture over to the other side. Now I need to work on these cells. Alright, so we need it to be 125 by 150. So I need this. Notice up here you can type that in. A3 to G7 colon. Up here in the corner, if you typed A3, because that's cell A3 is right here, and G7 is down here, you can get that shaded in that way. So up here, I need this to be outline, border. So actually, I lied. It's going to be A2. So I'm going to come up here and change it A2 to G7. And when I hit enter, that includes the days of the week. So I need this to be the whole thing, all the borders. So it's up here by the paint can, to the right of the paint can, all the borders. And now, when I zoom out, you will see that the whole thing's bordered. Now I need A3 colon G7. Oops, not Z7, 67. Ooh, that would not be good. G7. So I need this cell all the way down to this cell. So I can click and drag, or I can type in here A3 colon G7. And that will highlight below the days of the week. Now I have that border there, but now I want to put numbers in. And if I typed in numbers now, if I was to type in numbers now, 1, it would be in the bottom right-hand corner. I want to change that. So again, A3 to G7. Up here, let me zoom in a little bit so you can see. I don't want anybody whining. It's too small, I can't see it. So we're going to change that to left align, which makes sure it's not right. And instead of the vertical alignment, instead of being at the bottom, we want it at the top. So now all the numbers should be there. And if I look at the calendar that it's supposed to be, April started on a Saturday, so that's not... April started here. And then we'll continue over here with 2 and 3 and 4, 5, and so on and so forth, until you get down here and you'll say the 29th will be on the last day, because April 30th is going to be on the next calendar. I don't want to go one more week because then it has problems. All right. Let me zoom back out and come to the end. I want to copy this whole thing. So I want to copy this. I'm going to highlight the whole thing. And I'm going to go Control C to copy. I'm going to skip a line and click right there. Skip a line. And I'm going to Control V to paste. And if you notice, it just copied and pasted, but it did not paste. The columns are the right width, but the rows are not the right height. So I'm going to click and hold over the numbers. Click with one finger, drag with another hand, and then I'm going to right click, which is peace sign, click on the touchpad, and then resize those rows. And if you don't remember, that's 125. The other ones, the width was 150. So Sunday, this first Sunday is going to be the 30th, and this is going to not be April, May. April by large. It's going to be April, May, June by large. So we're going to do our dates here, and notice the cells are already formatted for that. And then down at the end, it's going to be 31st is going to be here. Then we do first. Oops, I did it wrong because I have first is here. So first is here. So it'll look different because first was a Sunday. So it'll be a little different. So I have the numbering wrong. Depends on when you start and when you end. You want to make sure that you get the numbers right. So you'll have to look it up and see. And you can do that by clicking on your clock down here, and you can see there's April. First is on a Saturday, so the first would be over here. First is on a Saturday, so on and so forth. And then the first, and then we'll put 30 on a Sunday, and so on and so forth. And then we'll come down to, that's May. May. First is on a Monday. That's we got right. And then we'll put the 31st will be here. 1, 2, 3. And you will fill all those numbers in. But you'll have to look at a calendar and make sure they get those right. All right, so we have that set up. So now that we have it set up, we have to print it. So in order to print it, we're going to do a print thing. And it's not going to line up right. You see how this is not lined up right. The days of the week, the page break. We're going to make sure it says landscape. We're going to change our margins from normal to narrow. And once you do that, it should be on 2 separate pages. And now we can print it. We want to change our margins from normal to narrow, which will make it a little bit easier for us to print it. It should be on separate days. All right, so that is what you do. Okay? Bye.